Do you feel there is a lack of connection between you and your partner? Do you doubt the intent, commitment of your partner? And the question list goes on. To answer all these questions, we are having Ashwini with us. She is the founder of Rishtey Speaks. Hi Ashwini, how are you?
Hi Priya, thank you very much. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm also good. First of all, thank you so much for taking out your precious time and to join us with in this show, Winsple Talk Show.
Thank you very much.
So Ashwini, रिश्ते speaks. It's like रिश्ते एक हिंदी word है, speaks एक English word है. तो ये रिश्ते speaks का idea कहाँ से आया?
Great. So as mentioned earlier with you, Rishtey is again a Hindi word, and then we wanted to have our Indian values, our core Indian system of dealing and tackling with relationships, our age-old ancient techniques of defining the whole relationship and having a stable society. So that's how the word Rishtey, from an Indian touch, and the word speaks, which refers to the right communication. Okay. Which is the key solution to all the relationship problems. So clubbing these two things in the right way, that's how Rishtey Speaks originated.
Okay, so yeah, you're right. जब तक Indian touch, देसी touch नहीं आता तो अपनापन नहीं लगता. So Rishtey Speaks. तो ये idea कहाँ से आया कि आप into relationship जाना चाहते हो, relationship पे आप start करना चाहते हो business?
Now I'll tell you a story. So a story which pretty much everyone can relate. People around you, you would have seen your neighbors, you would have seen your friends, you would have seen so many people around you who beautifully fall in love with each other, get married, beautifully start a family together. Maybe a year or two down the line, you start hearing shoutings and screamings from their house, jo har jagah sunai deti hai. Now, what happened all of a sudden that, this beautiful set of people who were there, amazing souls, are ending up fighting with each other. And then similarly, I have witnessed a lot of people in my professional line where I mentor a lot of people in my role. These people come to work. They are amazingly talented. They are beautiful souls, beautiful people, everything, but they are not able to focus on their work and their career goals in life. Why? Because they are having some sort of a relationship problem, either with your colleague, subordinate, boss, or be it in your personal life at home with your parents, with your siblings, with your children, with your partners. It can be anybody for that matter. Just like Gautam Buddha used to say that, there is no family which doesn't see a bad time or a death. So on a similar line, there isn't a person who doesn't face a relationship problem. So everybody goes through this. So when everyone goes through these kind of things, it impacts you at a subconscious level. You're unable to focus on your career goals, not just your career goals, with any goals in life for that matter, because it drains your energy at the end of the day. So then when I used to see many such people seeking for help, in fact, they openly don't come out and communicate telling that, hey, I'm going through this, I need help. But on the contrary, they suffer. And then, they somehow try to discuss their problem with their friends, with somebody else, trying to find a solution, but eventually end up with landing in more trouble because they discuss it in the wrong way or either get a wrong advice for that. So looking at all these things, I just figured out that, we are lacking a system. We have a beautiful setup already in our culture, but we are lacking a setup for the same where people are unable to communicate to the right people and get the right advice at the right time when they need it. So that's how I started this platform where we are getting professional coaches, professional people to come and help you out. And we have arrived at a module as well, which is one of the best modules, which is scientifically proven, which can help people understand the dynamics of relationship and work on it with few simple tricks and tactics and hacks.
Okay. I think the line which you choose is quite interesting and it's a need of the time because आजकल especially COVID में देखा गया कि कई रिश्ते इधर के उधर हो गए, you know, गुस्सा, एंगर, एंजाइटी, फियर फैक्टर्स के कारण रिश्ते काफी खराब हो गए. एंड ये कुछ ऐसी चीजें हैं कि कुछ रिलेशनशिप्स हमारी लाइफ में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं. एंड जब वो रिश्ते बिखरना शुरू कर देते हैं ना कोई, तो ऐसे लगता है कि ऐसे पूरी दुनिया हिल गई हमारी. तो आई थिंक टू उस रिलेशनशिप्स को बचाने के लिए देयर शुड बी सर्टेन गाइडेंस व्हिच यू आर प्रोवाइडिंग टू द पीपल. आई थिंक दैट्स अ ग्रेट जॉब. तो अश्विनी, जब आप इस फील्ड में आए थे तो आपको स्टार्टिंग में चैलेंजेस क्या फेस करने पड़े? लाइक सब कुछ पीपल खुद ही आपके पास आना शुरू हो गए थे दैट ये प्रॉब्लम है हमारी रिलेशनशिप में, और जहाँ आपको अप्रोच करना पड़ा?
एक्चुअली इसका स्टार्ट मेरे दिमाग में काफी टाइम से था, बिकॉज आई एम फ्रॉम एन आईटी बैकग्राउंड एंड आई एम इनटू लीडरशिप रोल्स. तो ever since I have been a project manager, or even prior to that, I have always been a part of the training team and mentoring team, having mentored more than 200 plus individuals. So I could see one thing: when we start mentoring, people start automatically connecting me with me for some reason. They come and they discuss even their personal problems, like ma'am ye ho raha hai, main kya karu, ma'am ye kaise deal karu, I'm facing these issues, and it is impacting me in some or the other way. So we were tying up with a lot of professional help on this, and working with professionals, working with coaches for a very long time in my tenure, parallelly as a part of the corporate setup and tie up. So we figured out one thing: all coaches had one thing in common to say, that ye karna hai, aise karna hai. And what are the problems? When people were definitely approaching me on a personal, on a friendly basis, on a friendly note, telling that हाँ मैम ये करना है, वो करना है, मतलब कैसे करना है, I'm facing this problem, I'm unable to communicate with my parents that I am in love with this person for so many years, my parents are not agreeing, I don't know how to convince them. And then instead of that, can I just elope and get married? Or otherwise, I've got married, but now I'm facing a problem with so many other things at home, my family members are not accepting my spouse, and then I'm having a child, my child is not listening to me. What is it that we do at the end of it? Every day X number of hours just goes into these sort of discussions at work, while naturally there's a dip in your productivity. So kya ho raha tha? And then we used to take them offline and then have a discussion with them, talk to them, and then figure out. So instead of that, when I started working around, I thought, right, have a setup. Just like you're attending your school training, or a few 2 to 3 hours of your training session, can we crunch all these things, all these topics together, which is essential for a stable, healthy, cordial, and harmonious relationship? Basic things of how you communicate rightly, how you communicate in the right time, right context. What are your expectations? How do you set your expectations with the other person? How do you define your boundaries? दूसरों को respect कैसे करें, and how do you expect others to respect you? So a lot of these things, we designed a curriculum, and over a period of time, so this came in. So people definitely didn't have a problem reaching out. And then, so in addition to this, so yes, certain people do hesitate coming up and all, I think. But the need of the hour is, when there is help available, I think people should be open enough to go ahead and reach out to help, and openly take it out, rather than not think. Because there is one thing: when these such things are there, it is done in a professional way. Privacy is of utmost importance, and we are extremely professional with privacy.
Oh great. I think जब ये चीजें आती है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल साइकोलॉजी कोई होता है, तो when they go to psychologist, they say कि ये पागल है, एंड व्हेन इट कम्स टू रिलेशनशिप दे आर लाइक कि ये अपना रिलेशनशिप ही नहीं संभाल पा रहे. तो ये चीजें बहुत ही कॉमन है जो एक इंसान को जाते हैं, रोकती है गाइडेंस लेने में, जहाँ हेल्प लेने में. तो आई थिंक हमें ये स्टिग्मा खत्म करना चाहिए. It's very common and needful to have a advice, whether it's on relationship or on your mental health or on anything. I think person should open to take the advice if needed, instead of looking at or listening to the others people. So yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly, we should come out and see like किस चीज की advice चाहिए. And right now we are having the, like, you are into relationship professional you are into professional things, and I think we should go and seek to the people जिनकी हमें help की जरूरत है, instead of sitting there and सोचना कि लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं and all those things. And as you told, privacy, yeah, it's very important. It builds the एक ट्रस्ट ब्रिज बन जाता है कि ओके हम यहाँ पे सेव है, हम हमारी प्राइवेसी है. तो अश्विनी, जैसे मैंने स्टार्टिंग में कुछ क्वेश्चंस पूछे कि प्रॉपर पार्टनर के साथ बन नहीं पाती, या फिर हम सोचते हैं कि अब हमें अलग हो जाना चाहिए, इट माइट नॉट बी द गुड टाइम टू गो इनटू द रिलेशनशिप, एंड ऑल दो छोटी छोटी चीजों की वजह से फाइटिंग होती है और वो सब कुछ. तो कुछ टिप्स और ट्रिक्स हैं जो हम इनको टैकल कर पाए?
Oh, definitely. Why not? See, सबसे पहली बात यह है कि we need to understand what is the kind of the person. 5 उंगलियां सेम नहीं होती. So obviously there is another person who is totally different from you. You need to understand the culture from where the person has come in. Okay, so for this you need to understand a bit about what are the family values with which the person is raised, how is the thinking pattern of the person, what are their expectations from you. And then the most important factor is that that person would not even be expecting anything from you. We, on the contrary, always have in our mind telling that, oh, that person I think is expecting this. It is our assumption at the end of it. Now, for instance, just to give in a simple example, okay, I will take an office example for, so at the end of the day, now let us say when freshers join in, so they'll be given one XYZ task that you have to complete it. Now let us say they haven't completed it at the end of the day for whatever reason, okay? They will assume in their mind telling that I have to sit till night 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock and complete it, and that is what my manager has expected out of me. They don't communicate this to the manager, but eventually they undergo through a lot of burnout, telling that, oh my God, I think my manager is like this. If I don't submit it, I don't know what he or she is going to tell me. And then the stress piles up. The manager has not communicated this to you. Okay, now what is the worst case scenario that is going to happen? End of the day, by around 5 or 6 o'clock, go ahead and tell your manager, hey, you know what? This is what I have done. You expected me to complete this, but I am 80% through it. But I'm stuck up at the rest 20%. Can you please guide me on that? Just one line will help you. You tell 1 hour before you're winding up at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you go and ask them, you tell them, you give them your status. Fine. Your manager also very well knows you're a fresher. You are not somewhere dropped out of heaven.
True.
So on a similar line, they will help you with that, whatever is needed. With instead of you sitting till night 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock and sitting and breaking your head on that, go talk to them. End of story. They'll help you, they'll guide you. You can always, instead of 6, it might be 6:30, but it is not as bad as 10 o'clock, right? So on a similar line, when a person gets married into a new house, into a new family, the family's cultural environment is different. We assume that, oh, that is what they are expecting out of us. We have to get up at this time. We have to do these many things. Instead of that, how do you sit and talk to them? We Indians have a mindset where, okay, koi bade aapse kuch bol diya, to you can't even say a yes or a no to it. हाँ बोल के आगे निकल जाना चाहिए, मतलब कर देना चाहिए, मान लेना चाहिए, सवाल नहीं करना चाहिए, etc. These kind of things. Ideal setup. I don't know how many people actually follow that, but ideal setup में ऐसा होता है. So क्या होता है? Burnout at the end of it, because 25 साल तक you are into a different family, you're into a different background where your entire cultural setup is different. You've grown in a different environment. Now all of a sudden you're into a new environment. Okay, so these adjustment problems. So instead of that, how do you sit and communicate with them? First thing is key communication, expectation setting. Sit and talk. Now, how do you do that? Of course, it can't be mentioned out here. It's a it's a part of the training process. It's a part of the workshops that we conduct. So how do you communicate? Now, second, boundary management. How do you define your boundaries? You need to tell that, okay, ये मेरा खुद का time है, मैं ऐसे जीना चाहती हूँ, आप क्या करोगे, आपका मैं रेस्पेक्ट करती हूँ, आप अपना करो, मैं अपना करती हूँ. काफी मामले में let us all sing together and all, but you know, for this 15-20 minutes, it's my me time. It's my, I mean, these are just examples. These are how, I mean, this is what you can expect out of me. No usage of, there are many people who come with violence or abuse for that matter. So when that happens, you need to set a boundary. You need to define a boundary. These are your limitations. Let's stick to that. These are my limitations. I will stick to that. Similarly, there are a lot of other areas, you know, understanding, respect for parents, respect for why our parents are expecting this from us. They expect because they come from a different generation. They value something different. Now, simple as that. I have seen people who come and who change their cell phones worth of 25,000-30,000 rupees every 3 to 4 months. Parents have a problem with that. These kids don't have. They're like, we are earning. What's your problem? Parents are like, you need to plan for your future. You just can't keep going and shopping 30,000 products every 3-4 months. Now, why are the parents telling that? Because they have seen through the difficult times. They have come from a different generation or an era.
Mm-hmm.
So, and at the same time, I'm not telling that the kids are wrong. The kids are coming in, they are facing peer pressures. They are facing, okay, my friends have purchased this, you know, it is my status quo. It is my branding image at this point of time. So there are different perspectives and different situations which we need to understand culturally, evolution wise, requirements wise, etc. And there are different types of people, different personalities. So if you fall into a personality, if, for instance, you are a doer, you just get up and impulsively go and start doing things. There is another person who is not as much as a doer like you, but who sits and plans and plans and plans for a very long time. They plan so perfectly. So what happens? ये timing का sync नहीं होता है एक दूसरे के बीच में. The planner says that, you know, I want to make sure that every bit and piece is perfectly planned so that हम कहीं मार ना खाए. Whereas the doer is like, कितना planning करोगे, इतना planning करते रहोगे तो action कब करोगे?
True.
So different ways, there are different kinds of personalities. So all these things come into picture, into understanding things. Then again, your finances, your financial planning, your way of life, your lifestyle changes. Then there are love languages, for instances. Now, for instance, I might be a person who's very caring. You know, for me, if I care, that is sufficient. Whereas on the contrary, there may be somebody else who expects gifts. You know, for them, language of gift is language of showing love. But for some people, you know, I care, I sit and talk to you, I come home, I smile, I give you a hug. I say, hey, you know what, how was your day? That is a way of showing love. Okay. Now, what happens is that two people won't understand each person's way of showing love, although both of them are actually doing the right things. But why? Because again, there is a lot of differences in the way they've raised their expectations are. So that is what changes. So there are many such more topics, around 30 different topics are there on which these things are thought, so that, you know, which is very important to have a peaceful relationship.
Okay, तो I think ये काफी कुछ include हो जाता है इसमें, like it's not a matter of 4 to 5 topics but 30 topics.
Yes.
Okay, so Ashwini, like you told you have, you know, mentor many people, but कोई ऐसा experience है जो आपके बहुत ही दिल के close हो and जो आपको motivate करता हो हर रोज अपने goals achieve करने में?
ऐसा बहुत कुछ examples है जिनको
कोई भी
Okay. For instance, मैं एक recent example ही ले सकती हूँ. So there was a problem with one of the persons जो अपने parents से बोल नहीं सकता था कि, you know, I am in love with this girl for many number of years. They were into a very long relationship, 8+ years का था. The girl comes from a different community. and then his parents have done the best for him in life. There are so many vital things. And then, his father and parents are everything for him. So it's like, he used to say, my parents have done everything. I don't want to hurt them. I'm like, why are you assuming that you're going to hurt them? First, go and talk. How you need to talk, how you need. He used to say, like, I don't even know how I can address it. I don't even know how I can address it. So I don't know where to talk. And then, we help them how to start a communication formally. And, it just went through. Trust me, it was hardly about 2 months' time. In fact, even much less than 2 months' time for his parents to agree for his engagement and marriage.
Oh my God. So
No,
it's like
yeah.
so you are into relationships, but before marriage also and after marriage also. Like you are involved in each and every type of relationship. Might be brother, sister, daughter, mother, and so on. Great. So Ashwini, like these skills, must help in your personal life also.
Very much, yes.
Okay. So like how you manage your time? Like you need to give time to the business also, to your family also. तो फिर आपका time management कैसे चलता है?
Time management is all about smart timetable.
Okay, smart, specific, measurable, attainable.
No, not that way. I'm not defining the smart as per the specific measurable time.
No, there's a definition. Na, as
A
per,
definition, right? I'm aware of that. No, it's not
okay.
as per that. What I'm trying to say is that the school wala timetable, जो every 1 hour to 1 hour आप करते क्या हो उसको. So I think that is the best time management skills for anybody to plan your day, to plan your week and your month. So just use an organizer to plan your calendar. That's it. Over, end of it. And then for me, work time, it's exclusive work time. And of course, harnessing your skills over the number of years automatically helps you do things faster and smarter. And then there's always time that is left out. So, and the second best option that we've done at family is that we've removed the villain out of the house. That's TV. So, yeah.
You're not having TV in your house?
We do have, it's on the attic.
Okay.
Get it only during summer vacations. So that, the child, my spouse, all of us, instead of, sitting and spending time in front of the television, we always feel that it is better sitting and spending time with each other. So that naturally gives us an additional 2 to 3 hours every day to spend time with each other.
I think it's a great thing. Like विलियन लाइक टीवी को ही निकाल दिया बीच में से. लाइक ऑब्वियसली कई लोग मैनेज कर पाते हैं, कई लोग मैनेज नहीं कर पाते. तो आपने किस्सा ही खत्म किया, निकाल ही दो, मैनेज या नहीं मैनेज करना, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी. सो यू जस्ट रिमूव द स्टोरी, like TV. Okay, great. So Ashwini, like you need to handle your child also. So basically hota hai, you need to give focus to your children's study also, to the food also, and all those things. So you have separate schedule for this also, like this time I need to give to my student study 1 hour here, 1 hour here. So you plan all the things like this.
Yes. So that's how it goes. And when I am spending time with my family members or with my child, for that instance, I make sure it is a total quality time. So nothing else comes in between. And even the same way, the child also has learned the expectations when parents are sitting and working or, working on doing things. They also know to do their things. So they don't come and interfere. So, and if they come and still want to kind of expect time with us, I just say, beta, another 10-15 minutes, just give me this time and I'll be with you. So, and then sleep time. So during bedtime stories, and that I just make sure nobody steals between me and my child. So that is kind of taken care of. And then we also do plan family vacations in certain time intervals where all three of us have holidays together. We keep going out. So do small things that bind us together as a family.
Great, great. So Ashwini, like when you open this, like when you thought कि I will go in for this business, तो वहाँ पे कुछ क्या challenges आपको main रहे हैं जिसको जो आपने face किए while opening this startup?
Just a similar kind of problems that most of the
So it's
startups.
basically hiring, like how to handle the situation and all those.
Yeah, see, it was the initial thing was to arrive on a common consensus, like how are we going to schedule this, the workaround times. In fact, I don't think we really went through major things at all. We were in sync. A lot of the minute I had this idea and I started communicating it with people who I wanted to tie up with, everyone agreed on it because we wanted to see a change in the society. We wanted to see a change in the cultural values as on today. And so everybody agreed on it. And then the only challenge that we still find or something is that whenever we have to schedule a meeting, getting that time slot where everyone is free around. So for that, what we do is that we always work it around on a weekend.
Oh, great. So Ashwani, I think I feel so glad to share screen with you because I learned so many things that, like overthinking or, misunderstanding can be the major issue between the relationships कि हम नहीं समझ पाते कि उनका perspective क्या है and how it's different from us. So I think I learned a lot of things about relationship from you today, and that's all from my side. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Priya, for having me on the show.
Bye. Take care.
Bye. You too. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. You too.